You know how every January we are told, New Year, New You. We're told that if we don't have a new planner or set new goals or have a new personality by January 1st, we're already behind? Well, I'm not doing that this year. And in fact, for most life-changing moments of 2025, it wasn't about goals that I had set and put on a list. It wasn't a resolution. It was a decision to simply stop trying to fix myself. If you are tired of the resolution noise and want to know what actually changes life after 60, this video is for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Roxanne, and this is Reinventing Me at 60. This channel is about what really happens after retirement. Not the highlight reels, not the glossy brochures, but the quiet moments, the reinvention, the figuring it out as we go part. If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Welcome. Let's start with the moment that surprised me the most in this last year, my first solo trip. And I don't mean alone for a few hours while everyone else was busy. I mean me, myself, and my thoughts in a completely new place. No one to check in on, no one asking what's the plan, where we're eating. It was just me. And if you've never traveled solo later in life, there's something that you should know. It's not about bravery, it's about trust. Trusting yourself to navigate unfamiliar streets, trusting yourself to problem solve, trusting yourself to sit alone in a restaurant without reaching for your phone to occupy your time as a shield. I honestly expected to feel lonely. That was my biggest fear. But sitting there with my coffee, watching the world go by, I didn't really feel lonely. I felt capable. And that surprised me because somewhere along the way, especially after retirement, we can start to believe that our firsts are behind us. That growth is for younger people, but that trip gave me quite a realization. I can still do hard things. I am not done growing just because I retired. Nothing dramatic happened, no big story, but inside, something shifted. And that shift was worth more than any resolution I could have written down at the beginning of the year. The second biggest shift of 2025 was starting this YouTube channel. At an age when most people are scaling back, I decided to learn lighting and audio and editing and how to talk to a camera without feeling absolutely ridiculous. And here's why. Retirement got quiet. When you leave the workforce, your days no longer demand your opinion. Your experience isn't automatically needed. And I didn't realize how much my identity was tied into being useful. I wasn't done thinking. I wasn't done learning. And I definitely wasn't done talking. Starting YouTube at 60 is humbling. You worry about judgment, you worry about trolls, you worry about saying the wrong thing or not being good enough. And then something unexpected happens. I guess it really is. I found you reading your comments, especially on that latest Christmas video. You made me realize something really important. We're not alone in this transition. So many of us are asking the same questions. Who am I? What matters? What's next? That connection was worth every moment of fear before hitting publish. So here we are at the start of 2026, and I know some of you are waiting for my list. The goals, the plan, the big declaration. I don't have one because midlife has taught me this. Pressure kills curiosity. When everything becomes a goal, nothing stays joyful. So instead of resolutions, I have gentle intentions, things that create direction without creating guilt. The first one is cleaning up my digital footprint. And I don't think we talk about that enough. Our old accounts, forgotten blogs, 100 email addresses that we've accumulated, random photos, half-written documents. We leave behind a digital trail, and someone else will eventually have to deal with that. I don't want my kids to inherit my digital mess, and I don't want it floating out there. It's not because I want to erase my past, but because I want to curate it, to simplify it. It feels like modern day depth cleaning, and honestly, it feels a bit freeing. If you've done this, tell me how, because I'm learning as I go on this. I don't even know where to start. My second intention is deeply personal. I'm taking my old family travel blog from the year we traveled around the world and turning it into a physical book for my kids. Because websites disappear, algorithms change, but a book on a shelf, that lasts. And I want my kids to be able to hold those stories, our stories, to flip through them, to see where we were and who we were. It doesn't feel like nostalgia. It feels like a quiet legacy. I'm giving myself 12 months to work on it. No pressure, just presence. My third intention for 2026 is saying yes more often. Not recklessly, not people-pleasing, but yes to new experiences, uncomfortable growth, things that make my heart beat a little faster. Because fear doesn't always mean stop. Sometimes fear means pay attention. Something important lives here. And finally, the big one. My husband and I are talking very seriously, carefully, about moving back to our home city. It's not a dream move, but it's a value move. We're asking different questions now. Where are we needed? How can we support our aging family members? How do we show up for family in this season? These aren't exciting resolutions. They're heavy, they're real, but they matter to us. So, goodbye 2025. Thank you for the courage I didn't know I had. And hello 2026. I'm not asking you to be impressive or productive, just honest. If you're watching this and feeling behind because you don't have a plan, you aren't. You're right on time. If this video resonated with you, I'd love for you to let me know by giving it a like. And if you're navigating this season of Reinvention too, consider subscribing. We're figuring this out together. And tell me in the comments, are you setting resolutions this year? Or are you joining me in simply being? I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining me.